You're saying that I'm saved by grace through faith, not by works, but I kind of have to do these things in order to grow. It feels like, after I get past the curtain and I believe by grace through faith, I believe for salvation, that I now have to do. And it's really a misunderstanding about the Christian life. Nothing could be further from the truth. Galatians 3:3, they're dealing with this question. And he says, after receiving salvation or after receiving your goal, are you now trying to attain your goal through human effort? In other words, you have this righteousness. God has saved you. The only way you can be saved is if you're born of divinity, if you have the Holy Spirit inside of you, which is righteous, and you have been given the righteousness of God through the impartation of the Holy Spirit inside you. Ephesians 1 says we've been sealed by the Holy Spirit. You can't lose it. You're now sealed. You can't lose the Holy Spirit. You can grieve the Holy Spirit, but you can't lose the Holy Spirit. Well, are you now trying to attain your goal of righteousness through human effort? That's saying that you can't earn it. You can't even maintain it through human effort. In John 3:3, Jesus says that you're born from above. You're born again. 1 Corinthians 5:17 says that the old is gone, the new has come. You are a new creation. Well, this is permanent. You didn't earn your salvation. You can't lose your salvation through human effort, through doing good. Now back to Ephesians 2:8-9. It says, it is by grace that you are saved, not by works, so that no one can boast. It is the gift of God given to you, so that no one can boast. Well, what do you mean if after I receive this salvation and I'm made a new creation, I don't now have to do? Doesn't James 2:14 say that I have to do? A real faith genuinely does? Yes, but it is Jesus' life through you. And this is why you need to know John 15:5 and verse 7. 6 is pretty important too, but I'm going to focus you on 15:5, verse 7. I'd really encourage you to look it up while you're listening to this right now. You can swipe up and go to YouVersion, and here's what it says. John 15:5 says, abide in me and I in you. I am the vine, you're the branches. Abide in me and I in you, and you'll bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. Well, what's this saying? This is saying that the fruit of God comes from his life. And our goal is to abide. Our responsibility is to rest. Another word for abide would be rest. The Greek word there is meno. It means dwell or remain. Think about a branch on a tree. What is the branch doing? Is he out moving around all over the trunk of the tree? Is he out leaving the tree and going off and producing fruit? And then, no. The branch's responsibility is to abide right where it was put, on the vine. And it doesn't move. Its focus shouldn't be on the end of the branch that bears fruit. Its focus should be on the connection of the branch, the end of the branch that's connected to the vine. And as you remain, as you abide, his life-giving force will go through from the trunk of the tree, through your branch, and it is from staying connected to the tree that we now can produce fruit. Why? Because there's life-giving sap. That's like blood for us. Life-giving sap for a tree, that there's something about the branch that converts sap into fruit. He's saying the same way, my life will be, if you'll stay connected to me, then you will produce much fruit. Well, what does he mean? Is it just him? No, he clarifies it in verse 7. He says, abide in my words, my words, my words, my words. Abide in my words, and anything you ask. He goes so far as to say, you can ask whatever you want if you're abiding in my words and you care only about asking for things that are according to my will, and you got to know my will by being in my words, okay? Then you can ask for anything if you abide in my words, and it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. So what's abiding specifically being applied to? It's his words. That's how our faith grows. Back to our first question, so what? How does the resurrection affect me? Well, we got to be in his words. That's how faith grows. And our faith, as we stay connected to his words, as we remain or abide, that's just rest. Remember, he said, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Do not take the world's yoke upon you, for that is wearisome and burdensome. Come to me, all of you who are weary and heavy laden, for I will bring you rest to your souls. Take my yoke upon you. His yoke is easy and it's light, he says. You still have a yoke, but the yoke is easy and it's light because it's my life through you that produces the works. So what's this saying? Genuine faith will produce works. Genuine faith will produce fruit.